Well, Simon, I think it was Tuesday said a win's a win, and that was a win after the first half, which probably was the worst 45 minutes so far of the season. Not long, obviously, but a much inspired second half.
Yeah, look, very pleasing result, Cooke, but I thought it was a very below par performance, especially in the first half, so let's not sugarcoat it. A win is a win, and we're not getting ahead of ourselves because we just said in the dressing room there we need to examine that first half performance.
It was a shame, wasn't it? Because after all the impetus of Tuesday night, the euphoria and that, the fans were out again, and it wasn't fluid at all, was it? It was like we're in second gear. I mean, they had one shot, but it was a poor goal to concede, wasn't it?
Yeah, very poor. We should have defended the whole situation better, and I'd expect us to defend it better. So that's one thing we'll look at, definitely, Cooke. What really pleases us is, whilst we recognised before the game that 2 games in 4 days physically can empty the body, emotionally can empty the body, we just felt that we didn't show the physical fitness that we need to win games like this. But what pleased us was actually the mental fitness, to be resilient, to not get dragged too much into their antics. Let's be brutally honest, 25 seconds for a throw-in, goalkeeper going down halfway through the first half with cramp after an instruction from the bench. But what was interesting was the last 15 minutes I didn't see any of that. I thought 3 seconds for a throw-in and nobody going down with cramp. So, as I said, we have to accept that teams have styles, the way they play. It's up to us to adapt, and the resilience to actually recognise where we were at half-time. Players wonderfully honest and transparent. We accepted where we were at, no time to feel sorry for ourselves, no dress rehearsal for the second half. We've got to do something about it. And full credit to the players, and I mean all 16, because 3 games in 8 days is a big shift.
A well-taken penalty for sure from Loza, and a fantastic free kick from Will Glennon. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah.
It must have been pleasing to see that one go in.
Yeah, very much so, but it comes about from the pressure, the situations before that leading to the free kick, the actual desire to get into the box and win the penalty. You know, situations are created, and I just felt our second half performance showed the respect that the players have for the fans. The reason I say that, they stayed with us, they sensed our frustration as well, the way Barwell were playing, the way things weren't happening for us, the rhythm wasn't quite there, but everyone stuck together. And sometimes wins like this really mean that a little bit more, because the first half performance, as we said, we accept is below par for what we are, and we had to react, and full credit to the players for reacting.
Again, a couple of team changes. Levy was injured, I take it, from the Tuesday night, and of course we had Mr. Barker making his debut, which must have been pleasing. So
look, 2 games in 4 days took a lot out of the players. It was a heavy load. Levy just hadn't recovered well enough, and at this stage of the season what we're not looking to do is push players past that area where injury risk is really high. We've got an important double weekend next weekend. We've got 39 games left after today. What we can't afford is to be losing key players for 5-6 weeks, because that's probably 8 or 9 games. At this stage of the season, we want to get rhythm. It's a new group. We want to get rhythm. We want to get momentum. And to do that, we've got to have players on the pitch. It would have been easy to risk 2 or 3 today, and that's brutally honest. And at the end of the first half, I was thinking maybe we should have, but no, it's about the bigger picture. We know it's a long season. We know the squad is looking to get better and keep evolving. And to do that, we can't have players who are not on the pitch. Players aren't good players if they're injured for a prolonged period. When we've pushed them past a point, we've got staff who monitor hydration levels, monitor physical loading, and we have to listen to the players as well with their bodies. They know their bodies better. And what was important for us today was to recognise that and prevent any possible risk of injury. And I think we could see in the first half that the energy levels were a little bit lower, and that was something across the group. It's not a criticism. But it's up to us to examine why and learn from this.
You mentioned briefly there that we're coming up to next weekend. We've got two very, very tough games indeed. Real Bedford and Harbour Town, two of the favourites to win this league. That really will be not a turning point, but we'll get a very good idea of where we stand after those two games.
I'd have to disagree.
Okay.
I think it's all about us. I want us to keep improving. I want us to keep evolving. We're looking forward to actually having some good training this week. It's something we couldn't do last week when we wanted to work on certain things. And of course, there's been a lot of talk about certain teams in this league, but it really is just about us looking after ourselves, both physically, mentally, and as a team, just keep finding ways to keep improving. Yes, we've got Real Bedford next Saturday. Yes, we've got Mike Harbour on Monday. Of course, we're aware of the schedule, and that was another reason in terms of our planning for where and that trade-off, when we can push people and when we can't. We want a good training week this week. We push people today, it means they can't train this week, and then there's no rhythm in the body going into an important weekend. So what we want is a squad that actually develops during the course of the season, and to do that, first and foremost, we've got to manage the load of the players, because we want them to maximise their ability. We don't want to push them and then say, oh yeah, well, now they're injured. I think prevention is always better than cure, really. So it's very early days, Cooke, and yes, it's game 4 on Saturday and game 5 on Monday. Of course, we know that, but it's full focus now on recovering, learning, having some good training, and getting ready for next Saturday.
9 points out of 9, you can't ask for any better than that.
No, you can't. And the other striking feature for me and the dressing room is the supporters.
Magical again today, were they?
Fantastic, because as I said, I've been a supporter as well. As I've said before, it would have been easy to show irritation at half time, let's be brutally honest. But the control they showed, the encouragement they showed for the players at the start of the second half. We know with some of our play, it doesn't take long to score a goal, so the game can be back with parity. But they understand the game, Cooke. They understand that this group of players is so determined to do well in every game. Sometimes it doesn't quite happen for whatever reason, but if you give that source of encouragement from the side, the feeling players get is so much better. And look, they're honest. They're first to admit their performance was below what it should be. But what's most pleasing is the spirit, the connection with the supporters. Everybody got their rewards at the end, and that amount of control from everyone allowed the quality to come through at the end of the game. So thank you to everyone.
Brilliant, Simon, well done, and no doubt there'll be a large contingent of Poppies fans at Real Bedford. I mean, more Kettering than Real Bedford, I would think.
Bring it on.
So,
fantastic.
next week.
Yeah, thanks, Cooke.
Thank you.
And thank you again.